But just as important is to, on these applications itself, we also have to reduce the footprint of the internet itself. The internet now is, depending on, you take in the whole composite of data centers, and facilities, and routers, and so forth, the whole information communications industry represents 2 to 3% of all global emissions. That's not a lot, but it's growing at a spectacular rate of about 6% a year, and that's unsustainable. In fact, one study came out in Australia, the next generation of internet, which is going to really produce high speed to our home, we hope someday, the routers for that, just the routers alone, will consume about 8% of the world's electricity. And so we'll need hundreds of new coal plant reactors for that, and that, again, that's simply unsustainable. And so the big problem, of course, is the data centers that support all these applications, from Facebook to Google and so forth. They are the new heavy industry of the information age. And they now represent 2% of the energy consumption, and some forecasts predict that they'll be 12 to 20% of all energy consumption, particularly here in the US. And a lot of that energy is driven by coal electricity, coal-produced electricity, which of course emits all the CO2. So these are big problems we face, and so one of the things we're trying to address in that area is look at ways we can reduce the carbon footprint of the internet. And we have a project in Canada to build the world's first zero-carbon internet, where all the computers, all the routing nodes, all the servers and so forth are driven solely by renewable sources like windmills, solar panels, and micro hydroelectricity. And so this is one way we think we can make a different generation internet, make it just as reliable, but use techniques to reduce its footprint. The reason why we want to do this, because it's such a serious concern, is there is organizations like the ITU which are developing standards to put control back on the internet. Scott mentioned about smart grids and so forth, to develop a new internet to address this challenge, which will undermine the internet as we know it today. So under the guise of being green and protecting the planet, what they're implementing right now are protocols that could really seriously affect the internet as we know it. And so this is something we have to address in our community. We have to stand up and say, listen, the internet's very critical for all these great applications, but also for saving this planet. And we just cannot wait for other organizations like the ITU or smart grids to take control of this and really undermine our future.